try and give us a bit of an idea about your childhood, because I was reading up a little bit about it, and you signed up for the Anderlecht Academy. Your parents signed you up at the age of 5.
Yes.
So your football's been in your life from very early on.
Yes. So, well, it's a bit like everybody. You start off at school, and once you get some time off, you try and pick up everything you can and kick on it. So that's how it's all started. And age of 5, I started with Anderlecht. So it went pretty quick for me.
Do you remember football before that? What's the first football memory you can remember?
Nah, I don't remember anything before that, but it was just, it started off at school, and then on TV I didn't have the channels when I was back home, so it was maybe later on when you started to watch YouTube on computer and everything, and then you start watching videos, and then my really first memory of football was the 2006 World Cup. So that's really games I really watched and followed the whole competition through, and then then it was all about football. When
did you first realise you were good? I mean, I guess if you're in the Anderlecht Academy at 5, you're pretty decent then. But
yeah, I always knew I was a good player, but I never thought that I could make it. So
why? Why do you think?
Because you just don't think about it. You don't realise that one day you can be a professional football player.
But that was the dream, was it? That was always...
Yeah, it's always been the dream. Even at school, when you had to make up for the teachers something that you want to do later on, I was always saying that I wanted to be a professional football player. And teachers say, it's not a job. Well, it is.
Do you still see that? You always go back and see those teachers.
Yeah, now it is. So I'm very happy about it.
You were pretty good at school, though, weren't you? You were quite academic. You were quite good at subjects.
Yeah. It depends on what.
What were your best subject? You worked hard though. You worked hard at school as well, didn't you?
I was a normal kid at school. I was chatting with everyone. Teachers liked me, I think. I wasn't like the...
You didn't cause trouble?
No, I didn't cause trouble. Well, I don't think so. But I was a nice kid, always smiling, coming to school, playing football.
What subjects? What were your favourite subjects?
I didn't have one particular, but I was quite normal at everything. Just basics, everything.
I was told there was a lot that your entire family and you did a bit of judo as well. Is that right?
Yeah, it is. It is. So my parents, they owned a judo club in Belgium. So I just did it with them, and it was quite good as well. But there is a moment when you have where you have to choose. And
you got brother and sister, and they were both pretty expert at judo as well.
My sister was. So yeah.
I was reading up about your hometown, Sint-Pietersloo, is that right?
Sint-Pietersloo.
That's how you pronounce it. Yeah. Sorry, that was embarrassing. Yes, but a population of only 30,000, so a small place to grow up in, quite rural, quite...
Yeah, it's very small, like, Belgium is not that big as England, so no, it's pretty small. It's I just had a house there, so we grew up there, but I didn't go out or anything because I was most of my time or at school or sports, football, basketball, judo. So I was barely home, and I just got home late, 8 o'clock, doing my homework, and then sleep, and then back again 7 o'clock.
But Anderlecht was only just down the road. I mean, it was 7 miles from Anderlecht. So
yeah, it was.
You were quite lucky where you grew up in that respect, weren't you?
Yes, but honestly, I didn't go from home to the club because only when it was school holiday, but it was more from school to the football club.
So you didn't get to spend a lot of time with your family even when you were quite young then, I guess? It was
no, because my parents were working, I was at school, so they just picked me up everywhere I was. So I was quite happy to have my parents to drop me off and pick me up everywhere I was. So
Are you close with your family? Are you still?
I see them often. So Now it's a bit difficult because I play in the UK, but once I go back to Belgium, I see them, and especially now when you have kids, they want to see their grandparents. So.
What about how proud they are of you? I mean, we forget how young you are still and all you've achieved so far. I can see the smile on your face. They must tell you how proud they are of you.
Yeah, they tell me all the time. So, like I said, I'm lucky to have them and to tell me some things that make me smile.
It's interesting. You said that you didn't think you were going to make it as a footballer. When did you first think then? Yeah, do you know what? I could do this as a career. This could be.
Once I was like 14, 15 years old, that's when I really realized that like I couldn't make it.
Because it was only a year. It was only a year after that.
Yeah,
you made.
I didn't expect
debut
that, to be honest.
We need to tell our viewers that you're the youngest ever Belgian player to play in the top division, the youngest Belgian player ever to play in the Champions League.
Yes,
at 16.
Yeah, I didn't expect that, to be honest. So I was 15 years old. I got into the under 17, so 1 year older. And after that season, normally I should have gone to the under 19s, but I thought I would go to the second team. So that was the plan, let's say. But then I got a call that told me that I would join the first team. So I was like, no. I didn't realize at the moment, but then I made the whole preseason with the first team. And yeah, that's when you realize you have the good level to be part of the first team. And then I made my debut on the first day of the league, so it was good.
We do forget how young you are, and is it you say you're over here in England, you don't get to speak to your family that much. How difficult is that? We kind of assume it's easy for footballers. You just move countries, you move clubs. Is it difficult to sort of settle in and learn the new culture and?
No,
feel
it's
at home?
not, because I have my own family now, so
and they're over here with you, aren't they?
Yeah, so it makes it a bit easier. But and the day of today with phones and with everything we have, it's easier to speak back home. But yeah, I speak almost every day with them on the phone, so yeah, it makes it easier, but it's not difficult to adapt to a country like England, because it's quite the same as Belgium.
You really impressed everybody when you were on loan here, and it was pretty clear that Leicester wanted to keep you. But you had options. You could. There were a lot of big clubs in Europe that wanted you. Why Leicester? What was it that made you think this is the place for me? And I wonder whether actually how they're doing this year, second in the table, whether that kind of proves what you thought they were capable of.
Yes, it proves it a bit, because when I signed on loan, I knew that the team had many qualities, and that we have a lot of potential in the team. Everyone wants to improve and wants to win, and with the manager we have now, he's really brought that winning mentality, and so it makes it easier. It made it easier for me to make up my mind and to come here, because we have a very good team.
Where else could you have gone?
I won't say that on camera.
But there were some big clubs in Europe, weren't there? I mean, you were aware of that.
Yeah, I had a lot of options to go to, but I decided to join Leicester, and I'm very happy about it.
Well, it's working out well, second on the table. I mean, look, how do you see it? Are Liverpool catchable?
Well, why not? Like, we know it can happen. They drop points, especially if we play them at home. If we win.
Boxing Day.
Yeah, it can go very fast, but in the other way as well. So we have to be focused, and we don't have to drop points as well. But it can happen in the season. We won't win every game until the end of the season. Well, maybe, but will be very, very difficult, because the opponents are very tough as well. So yeah, I think Liverpool is the team to beat at the moment. So yeah.
But there's a big gap between you and the places out of the Champions League, and that has to be a real target now, doesn't it? Okay, Liverpool are still 8 points ahead of you, but at the start of the season, the manager and yourselves were talking about, well, let's try and get European football. Now it's got to be Champions League football, hasn't it? I mean, there's a big gap to the teams that are outside those Champions League places?
I think the Christmas period and January will be decisive because there are a lot of games, and we'll see where we are after that period. But I think we just have to carry on what we are doing, and we are doing very well. So just keep that and try to keep the gap between us and the other teams, and we'll see.